Thanks, Vesna, and welcome back to our English language gathering. Before we start, please reach out to your tens and turn your cameras on so we may see your smiling faces. Now, with our opening intention, John?
Morning. Thank you, Richard. Good morning, friends. Rabash article number 3, love of friends 1. I seek my brethren by being together with my brothers, that is, by being in a group where there is love of friends. I will be able to mount the trail that leads to the house of God. This trail is called the path of bestowal. In this way, it's against our nature. To be able to achieve it, there is no other way but love of friends, by which everyone can help his friend. L'chaim, friends.
Thanks, John. Now, our special guest is the KabU Marketing Director, Danny.
Yeah. Hello, dear friends. My name is Danny, and I'm the marketing director of the English department. Sorry about my voice. I'm a bit sick today, so hope it won't be a problem. Probably not everyone here knows me personally, so I wanted to use this opportunity to introduce myself and explain what is my role in the English department and also tell about the Kabbalah journey, our main project right now. So my main role in the department is to think about how we bring new people to study the wisdom of Kabbalah in English and how we do it in the best and most effective way. I started working in English department a few years ago, and at the beginning I worked on the building the KabU, the platform, its architecture and all the internal logic. And now I mostly work on marketing, and I also do production of management, product management for new courses in niches that are close to Kabbalah, so we can appeal to new audiences. You may know our Hebrew courses, and now we are working on the relationships course for singles, hopefully to release it soon. But of course, our main focus is always on the Kabbalah courses. So I'm responsible for thinking about all the marketing channels and all the different ways we can reach new people and bring them to KabU. And we have many content resources like Kabbalah info site, YouTube, Facebook channel, TikTok, Instagram. But my goal there is not just let people consume our content, but also bring them to KabU from all these channels, so that people can start the structured learning paths in KabU. And one additional point is that I'm not just want to advertise. The real goal is to use our marketing resources wisely and bring the right people to KabU, not just to send more traffic and more clicks, but we want also people who really want to learn, really want to take the learning path, the spiritual path seriously. And this brings me to the main project I wanted to share with you today, the Kabbalah journey. As you know, until now at the KabU, we have the introductory course that is called Learning Path, and it consists of 4 semesters. The first one is called Kabbalah Revealed Part 1, Part 2, then Kabbalah in Action, and Kabbalah Experience. And after completing the Learning Path, students could join the graduate, what's called the graduate environment, and later start working in TENS. But the Learning Path had 2 disadvantages. The first is that Kabbalah released Part 1. The first semester was free course. So on one end, you can say that this is a good thing because we won't give anyone the opportunity to study the wisdom of Kabbalah. But it's of course it's true. But we already have other free introductory courses and free content resources like Question Your Reality and other courses. So when we try to bring new students to the first semester of Learning Pass for free, and we brought thousands of students, what we saw that almost none of them moved to the next semester. The quality was very low because the course was free, and many of them did not even enter the course. And the second disadvantage of the Learning Pass was that we lost many students in the transition between semesters because after completing one semester, they had to enroll to the next semester, and we just lost students this way. So in order to solve all these issues, we decided to package the Learning Pass into one single product that is called Kabbalah Journey. But you have to understand that Kabbalah Journey is exactly the same course. It's Tony's Learning Pass course, but it's just packaged in different ways. So this is the paid 5-month course that people who join it from the beginning with the real commitment, and there are no separate semesters, just one course with payment. Why is it important? Because our goal is not only to bring more people, but as I said, to bring more serious students who can and ready to commit. And of course, still we have all our free resources for people who are not ready yet to start the learning path. In other words, this model helps us to build a stronger vessel from the beginning, and actually it should create a different kind of entry point, a more serious, more hopefully one that will lead to stronger connection and better continuation. And in addition, we can scale our paid campaigns this way because we will reinvest all the income from the Kabbalah Journey into the paid campaigns. And we already seen positive results. Since we started this new model, we have already run 3 cycles, and we have had more than 40 students who paid for the course. So in total, it's already 120 students who paid for our course from the beginning, and we start new cycle every 5 weeks. And for us, it's very encouraging. And right now, it's still the proof of concept, but hopefully we will completely replace the learning path with the Kabbalah Journey soon. And this experience showed us that there are people who are ready for this format, ready to commit, ready to enter the study in a more serious way. And it gives us the hope that we are moving in the right direction. And of course, we still want to improve it, and we are still learning, and we are still refining the process. But we are going to the right direction, and we hope to reach more of the right people and multiply our results. So at the end, I would like to ask you for the support, for your thoughts, for your prayer for this project, that this project continues to succeed, and that we see even stronger results, and many more new students will join us soon. Thank you, friends. L'chaim.
L'chaim, thank you, Danny. And you brought a smile to Zohar's face, and there isn't anything more special than that. And now, an update from our Arvut team. Chaim?
Hello, everyone. Today's update is all about Congresses, two of them actually. Let's start with the latter one because it's easier to explain. During the last weekend of October, officially from the 29th to the 31st, we will have a regional Congress just like we had in May. So we will have several regional Congresses all over the world. And one of those regional Congresses will be here in the US. We already picked a place. Did we sign the contract already, Zal? Or are we almost there?
We're minutes away.
Minutes away. Okay. So it's basically a done deal. It's going to be a beautiful place. Can I share the screen? Yeah. Okay. So I'll just give you a little taste of it. Short little taste of it. Let's do it this way. Okay. Can you see that? Now you can. Okay. Well, that's that. It is in upstate New York by Lake George. It is called, as you can see, Silver Bay YMCA. And if you remember, last time we had a problem that we didn't have enough beds and bunks and whatnot for people to stay in. Well, this time it's, I think almost all of it is beds, right? No bunks, right?
There are a few. There's everything, but we have a lot more beds, very few bunks, and the bunks are like 2, 3 in a room, no more than that.
Okay, so the situation, like in terms of accommodation and amenities, much, much better. And we will be able to fit 300 people on the premises. So no one has to go anywhere. No one has to get an Airbnb or whatever. We can all stay on the premises. So save the date, October, the last weekend of October, probably 29 to the 31st. Another thing is, in all likelihood, I know that they're planning on it. Mushi and Avihu are planning to be at the Congress as well. So that's an added bonus for us. All right. So this is going to be amazing. I see there's a question about kids. There will be no program for kids, but whether or not kids will be, we will be able to have kids on the premises is yet to be decided. Okay. If kids are an issue that prevents someone from attending the Congress, then we want to know about it. But we need to know about it as quickly as possible because we need to get organized. Okay? So spread the word around. If kids are a reason not to attend the Congress, and if you could bring the kids under your own care, and then you would attend the Congress, then please write to us, either to me or to the Arvut team. Okay, so we will know about it. I didn't intend to open it to questions. It's just that Genia asked the question right away, so I answered. Okay, so that's about that. I think Elachaim is in order. First of all, to Zohar for finding the place. By the way, he didn't look very hard because AI did most of the work, but he did look through, well, he and his team looked through approximately 150 venues. Okay? Sounds like serious work. Okay. Now, about the other Congress, it appears that many people still don't know, that there is a Congress coming up at the end of May, on the last weekend of May, from the 29th to the 31st. How many people don't know that it's coming up? Never heard about it. Not a word. Okay. Well, it seems like most of you do know about it. Okay. Well, that's encouraging, because it's not what I heard. I heard complaints that entire tens don't simply have no clue that this was happening. Okay. Well, it is happening from the 29th to the 31st. And here I will open it to questions. Now, the May Congress is very, very special. It is the first of its kind. It is a tens Congress. I don't think we have an official name for it yet in English, but it's something like deepening the work in the 10. Okay, diving into the 10, whatever. It's all about the 10. And there will be no central congregation anywhere. Anywhere. It'll be each 10 congregating within itself, physically, virtually, or a hybrid congregation. Yet all 10s doing it at least around the same dates. Okay? With some anchors that will be common to all. We still need to figure out how we're going to conduct those anchors. We just talked about it in the content team just before this meeting, and we have no idea, but we'll work it out. So there will be 2 anchors each day, which are for lessons. The morning lesson, which is the usual time of the Israel morning lesson, so it's in the evening for you guys, and a noon lesson, which will probably be more like a Shabbat noon lesson rather than a regular weekday noon lesson. But again, here too, it's flexible. It's not decided yet. It could be maybe on Shabbat. It might be the Shabbat schedule, maybe on Friday, the Friday schedule, which means noon Israel time, rather than Shabbat, which is 4 p.m. Israel time. And on Sunday, which is the 31st of May, it's yet to be decided. Now, other than those 2 anchors, the 10s will build their own Congress. You decide whatever you want. Whenever you want to have the meals, have the meals. It could be immediately after the lesson, immediately before the lesson, at any other time. However many yeshivot chaverim you guys want to have, however long. I know that when my 10 goes out on a weekend, we usually have a plan that after the community meal on Friday, it's always a Friday, Saturday for us. So after the community meal, it ends at like 3:30. We have a plan for some activities until we have dinner together. So these are the activities that always get canceled, because we end up finding ourselves in like a 3-hour-long yeshivat chaverim, where we just hang out and open our hearts over beer and peanuts, something like that. So you guys can just make up a plan that suits you guys, okay? And that's the beauty of it, that nothing is prepared. You need to do everything for yourselves, just like 10s do when they go out on a weekend. Now, 3-day Congress is very challenging, understandably. So you don't have to be together the whole time if it's impossible because of family, because of work obligations, or because of whatever other reasons. But do try to allocate 24 hours during those 3 days where you guys are constantly together. Constantly. Even sleeping, even if it's virtual, you guys all go to sleep together and get up together. And from then on, you guys are together. Even if you guys are planning a walk, it's fine. You can go for a walk in your neighborhood, but on Zoom, while on Zoom with everyone else. Be creative. Okay? Whether you meet, if you're meeting physically, it's no problem at all. You just go for a walk. But even if you're virtual, there are ways to do things together. You want to have a meal? No problem. Maybe you can decide on the menus in advance and buy all the groceries in advance, so all of you can have the same food. If it's too much of a problem, still no problem. You stay on Zoom, everyone goes to the kitchen, you prepare the food, then you get together and you sit and you have the meal. Okay? So just make the effort to be together for a full 24 hours. The rest of the time, if be together as much as you can, according to the circumstances. In any case, there will be lessons, just like the regular days. Okay, so if you guys can't make any of it, for example, you could make only one day, and the other 2 days you couldn't, you will still have 2 lessons a day. Don't worry about it. So you can continue the routine. That's not a problem. But you want to make of it as much as possible, because this whole idea came up when Rav's 10 was out together, and they saw the great benefits that they had, that they were gaining from being together physically like that, in close proximity, all in the same place. And they thought, why not just share it with everyone? And the only way to share it with everyone is for everyone to do it. That's where the idea came about. So obviously, each 10 has its own circumstances. But again, that's not a reason not to do it. It's just a reason to be creative about how you do it. Okay? I'm sure that guys who are used to being virtual can be a lot more creative than I just was with my ideas. So just go ahead and do it. Okay, Irina, did I answer the basic questions?
Yes, and what is the difference between doing it for a man 10 and woman 10? This is a question as well.
Again, each person with his or her own circumstances. So I really can't tell you, what to decide. You have families, you have kids, you have things you need to work out. So it's not for me to tell someone you need to be on that day and not on this day, and for this many days and not that many days. You can't do that. It wouldn't be right. And it wouldn't work. You do know that we have a Congress and that you want to be together. Maybe some 10s, I don't know, will decide that they can't make it 24 hours, okay, straight. Maybe, especially for women, because of family obligations and things like that, it's impossible. But maybe you can have 2 half days. Or whatever. You guys just need to hash it out among yourselves. Really, I can't come up with solutions for every situation, because there will be as many situations as there are 10s. Okay, so there's no one correct answer. Just do the best under your circumstances. In Israel, because we have again, a unique situation where in many families, both parents study. So we decided that mainly Saturday will be the day for the men and Sunday the day for the women. So the men are required to do the best they can to make their wives free on that day, so they can participate in the Congress. But again, that's Israel. That's not even Israel, mainly Petach Tikva. So again, that's our circumstances. But like I said, you guys have your own circumstances, so you need to work them out however suits you. Okay? In that regard, more questions?
Unity, Haim. But more than that, we're interested in how our friends are preparing for our May Congress, and then any questions raised out of that, so we can start to share with the friends and help generate some more interest in this. So if you know what you're doing, put your hands up and let us know. If you have no clue, let us know so that we can start building. Even though we're only going to be single tens, we can work as multiple tens in order to get it organized. Thank you, Haim.
Yeah, absolutely. Share information is highly recommended. Yes. Joe, you wanted to talk?
Yeah, I wanted to share that the Florida 10, we booked our Airbnb this past week. I will be flying down to Florida. The other guys will be driving up from Southern Florida to a friend who it's impossible for him to get away from the house because of family circumstances. So the 10 decided that we're going to go to him. And we booked an Airbnb half an hour away from him, and we'll finally get to see him because he doesn't get many opportunities to participate physically. And we're going to have 3 awesome days together. So I just wanted to share that.
Kudos to Florida.
I also would like to share, what's happening in the USA Midwest 10. But before that, first of all, the decision to have a morning block of the Congress at the regular time is absolutely amazing. It's a huge advantage for North America. And before the last week, when we discussed the preliminary schedule with our 10, so we agreed that we will, because of many restrictions, we'll watch recording this morning lesson. But now, we just before this meeting, we had a meeting, weekly admin meeting, that will be live in all anchor events. This is amazing. Also, we already discussed this morning the schedule. We already have preliminary schedule, and it looks like very, very reasonable, very acceptive for our time zone and inspiring. So I'm inspiring all the time starts doing that, because we'll now need to start preparing all the events. So it will take time, but this is going to be very special and an amazing Uniting Congress.
KabU 11 is also got all the friends together. We figured out a location, booked a place, and we're excited to get all the content put together and who's making meals and start planning.
All right, L'chaim.
Actually, Toronto too also already booked a place. We booked a cottage 1.5 hours away from Toronto. And surprisingly, we have 10 women who are able to go for almost 2 days.
Yes, and Toronto won. Also, we've got a place, and there are 9 of us that will be there. But this is old hat. I think that sounds arrogant, but we've been meeting for 4 years now. This summer will be 4 years that we meet physically together in a beautiful place, one of our members. And so we're very accustomed to, it's like a well-oiled machine of who does meals. We do it together. The content partner up. We have different content. So we're looking forward going to a new place this time, to one of our friends' cottages. So we're excited and just so happy to be together again. This is like 2 times in a year that we'll get to be together. So we are ecstatic.
Wonderful. And that's actually a very good point, Susan. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, and the more you feel the benefits. The first time you do it, it's like, wow, you're like in shock. I didn't know it could be that good. The second time, you already have discernments, but you are already beginning to, just like Susan said, you're becoming, you're starting to work like an oiled machine. Everyone knows his place, his duty. You divide naturally. Everyone has, their own tendencies, and it makes it easier to plan and carry out the next time. And once you get used to it, you get hooked. So really, we're hoping that this will not be the 10th Congress, but the first time, and that many others will follow. Yeah, more inspiring words or questions.
Women New York 3 are all set with a plan. Almost all of us are going to be able to gather at least for 24 hours, but more than just the 24 hours. And we have a spreadsheet with several tabs, just like planning an entire Congress, like we do on Congress planning teams, with meals, duties, content, and everyone is involved. Everyone will take a role, so everyone feels, completely immersed in the preparation. So we expect to have a very deep experience together, because we're all preparing together and very excited about it. And I will mention that we're meeting at a friend's home, and we made sure that we're including all the duties, so that a lot of the work won't naturally fall on the homeowner, which that tends to be a tendency, because it's Roberta. She just takes care of everyone all the time, doing everything. So we're making sure that the burden doesn't fall on her, because she opened her home to us. So we're very conscious of that, and very excited to get together. We get together several times a year. So this is one other opportunity, and to dive deeper in the 10.
L'chaim, Women New York 3. Wonderful. Last chance. Okay, well,
Chaim, you know what I was hoping to hear? Because it was first of all, I was so moved to hear all the friends and the efforts they're making, and the envy of the cottages in Canada. I mean, I'm just thinking, to go to Roberta's house is nice, but to go to a cottage somewhere like that with your 10, that's amazing. But I know that the reality is that a lot of the 10s don't have that luxury, or maybe it's not in their wheelhouse. And I didn't hear from anyone, our 10 is virtually going to be doing this or that, or this, what's our plan? And I think that too should be inspiring, that whether you have the ability to be all together in one place physically or not, that you're going to be in one place, physically, virtually, that we're going to be doing a 10s Congress, whether it is with your ability. So is there any 10 that wants to maybe share that? That would be really inspiring also to hear, what you're planning. And if you're not, then maybe for next week, share that, because it's also the work in the 10 there. That's the reality the Creator put before us.
Thanks. I was just thinking about the offer from our friends down in southern Utah. I'm in Salt Lake City, so I'm definitely interested in getting together with you. These friends did come to the SLC Mirror Congress recently, and so we'd really like to get together with y'all again. This is Phyllis. Thanks.
So let's just use the inspiring words we heard from the friends now as an impetus to get ourselves working toward the Congress. We have just over 2 months, plenty of time to plan everything, whether virtual or physical or anything in between. All right. So unless someone wants to add, Richard, it is back to you.
Time, and especially to Danny, and especially to all of you for your participation. Be sure to join us next time. And don't forget that on the 27th, Israel moves into daylight savings time and we get back to our normal routine. I'm really looking forward to that. Now, with our closing intention, John?
Yes. Rabash article number 13, Mighty Rock of My Salvation. Each person in the group, besides having a desire of his own, acquires desires from the friends. This is a great asset that can be obtained only through love of friends. However, one should take great care not to be among friends who have no desire to examine themselves, the basis of their work, whether it is to bestow or to receive, and to see if they are doing things in order to reach the path of truth, which is the way of nothing but bestowal. Only in such a group is it possible to instill the friends with the desire to bestow, meaning that each will absorb a lack from his friend, which he himself lacks the power to bestow. L'chaim, friends. Have a great week of connection.
Looking for a way to put together all the pieces of these broken parts. The signs are in the air, in every breath, in every moment, and in every heart. Every time we rise and fall together, there's a light to guide us through it all. We hold on to each other through the ways that we discover on the road to love. נחזיק ביחד מעל ההבדלים, נראה איך אהבה מכסה על הפשעים. Hold on to love, come on and let your heart sing. Break open the door, it's time for uniting. Above those of me beyond the horizon, together we see through the tent that we're living in.
Fine.